Hello, and if you're just joining us, this is Eric Metamar with the UltimateInvestorSystem.com and InvestorMasterminds.com. We are in the middle of a Masterminds call, and actually not a call, but a webinar. My lovely assistant Jamie is putting together all of the questions that you email her, so keep up the good work. It looks like we have a lot of questions in the pipeline. I don't actually know if I can sit on the phone that long this evening because we've got 53, 54 questions in the pipeline. She's going to sort, do her best so that I can get a decent amount of the topics answered in the next hour or so. All right, this is from Jamie in Boy, that sounds like a nice place to live. Surfer's Paradise, Australia. Wow. All right. If you were forced at gunpoint, I did not know the Australians were so violent, to come up with a plan for teaching a newbie to make $10,000 this month, what would that plan be? I'm assuming, though you did not put in real estate investing, we're talking about investing because there's all kinds of ways I can think of to make 10 grand, but they might not be legal. So I'm going to stick with the investing part. Um, you know, once again, I'm going to have to point you back to wholesaling, of course, because wholesaling is one of the few options I know where you can make that in a month. It's the fastest turnaround of any of the different niches out there. Of course, short selling, you've got a decent amount of work before you know if you can get the deal done. You got lease options. Lease options are you can combine them with a wholesaling strategy, of course, for quicker gains, but usually that's going to be a little bit more long-term money. Sub 2 you can do some stuff with, but wholesaling across the board is going to dominate this category. I mean, 10,000 bucks isn't that much for wholesaling because it's either one or two deals, sometimes even a half a deal. I've seen some of my guys, it's a 15th of a deal. So basically, what would my plan be? All right, I would jump into your manual. If you were starting from pure scratch, I would jump into your Ultimate Investor System manual. I would turn to the section on finding buyers. I would go to the reverse MLS strategy in that section, and I would look at it, look at it, look at it. Well, I think it's 2 pages long maybe, but I would spend 30 minutes fully comprehending it, grasping it, and then putting it into action. You should have a decent sized buyers list within 2 or 3 days if you implement the strategy. From there, I would find out what those buyers need. Once you know what those buyers need, I would move on to looking for homes for those buyers, and I would put a home under contract using an escape clause. Once I have the home under contract using an escape clause, I would call up my investor buyers, and I would see if they want to get assigned that contract or one of the other numerous strategies laid out in my course, but I'm not going to cover them all here, of course. But I would work on the assignment, assign it over, work towards close, get the deal done. $10,000 should not be a problem. If it's a limited thing, because of course our economy is in the gutter, and you can't make quite enough 10,000 on one transaction, maybe you got to crank out two, but still not the end of the world. I'm telling you, it's not going to be a problem. I don't know the market in Australia, I guess, Jamie, but I do know the market here in the U.S., and I do know that wholesaling works anywhere that you want to make it work. So maybe your market in Australia is much better than the market here in the U.S. I will hope for you, and then you could make that in a half a transaction or a tenth of a transaction. All right, I am going to move on to the next question. Thank you, Jamie.